Well, that was an interesting sound, wasn't it? Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Excuse me. Morning worn up. Good morning. I'm well, CMDA. I'm doing quite well today. I'm pleased by that. Shema Yisrael Asher Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. Danny, I've been making dumpster films every week because I'm going out with my students. So that's the new and special thing I'm making from scrapped goods is I'm making films, making stories about them, and I hope you enjoy them. ואהבת את ענת אלוהיך ובכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר נוחי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאוד על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Good morning, Kimmy. How are you today? How's your family? V'chaya ki v'achayo Elohecha el ha'aretz asher nisba Elohecha le'Avram Yitzchak u'Yaakov לתת לך עברים גדולות וטובות אשר לא בנית ובתים מלאים כל טובה אשר למילתה וברות עצובים אשר לא עשת כערים וזיתים אשר לא נתת והלכת ושבת. הישמר לך פן תשכח את יהוה אשר תישך מארץ מצרים מבית עבדים. And you shall love Yahweh Elohim with all your heart and all your soul and all your might. And these words that I repeat to you today, repeat them to your children. And say them when you wake up in the morning and when you go to bed at night and when you are traveling and when you are at home. And you shall bind them as a symbol on your hand and let them serve as a sign on your forehead and inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. The prayer is called the V'ahavta, Liv. V'ahavta means, and you shall love in Hebrew. And it's a prayer about repetition. A prayer about recurring, right? The patterning of patterns. Like a snake eating its tail. V'ahavta. Thank you for being here, Meg. Hello from Australia. Good morning. Good morning, 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 good morning. Am I religious? What do y'all think? Do you think I'm a religious person? I never know. Thank you, crazy bitch. I appreciate that. It's nice to be able to make things that people like. So, we're going to continue to be reading from the Enuma Elish. Enuma Elish is this old creation story from ancient Babylon. And where we left off, Marduk had commanded the creation of Babylon for all of the gods to live and be worshipped in the great holy city. Now we will continue. My screen froze. Oh dear. Well, Liv, I'm not sure if I'm religious. I asked the other people who are here what they think. No one said anything. But I am curious what you think. Whether or not you think I'm religious, because I don't really know what that word means. Nor do I know what it means to believe in God. I'm sorry if that answer is disappointing, right? Like, I'm going to read you this story about many gods. Like, what does it mean for me to believe in them? Like, when I read stories about them, right? Like, when I read about Marduk, the god king who created the city of Babylon, I must, in some sense, believe in him. Otherwise, the story wouldn't make any sense to me at all, right? I have to imagine that there is an entity named Marduk doing the things, right? Even if it's a kind of local imagining, right? Like, even if I'm not thinking about how that Marduk and his creation relates to, like, my physical body right now, still, I must believe that in some sense, in some place, in some part of reality, Marduk exists and is doing those things, right? Like, is that belief? Like, God is a meme. God is a social construct. God is an idea that we use to communicate with ourselves and with other people. If that is what it is to believe in God, then I suppose I believe in that idea. But again, you sort of need to specify what you mean by believe and what you mean by God. Sorry. So, after Marduk commands the creation of the city of Babylon, the story commences like this. Thus, every one of these orders and aims were established, and each god had been given a place in heaven or on earth, and 50 high gods set forth the 7 echelons of the cult. And the Lord took his bow and placed it before them. His forebears, the gods, also examined the net he had made, inspecting the bow, gazing upon its wondrous workmanship, and his forebears extolled all his fine accomplishments. Then Anu lifted her up and addressed the divine council, kissing the bow, saying, "Let her have an unrivaled range," and declared for the bow what she would be called, saying, Thus ought long and far be primary, victory secondary, and her third name is Bowstar, for its glow is in the heavens. And he secured her place among her associates, the gods. Then, after Anu had declared the rank of the bow henceforth, he located her throne. Of all gods, your place will be the highest. Anu caused her to be seated at the divine council of the gods. The high gods congregated and made Marduk foremost of all. Bowing themselves before him, they swore oaths of allegiance, and it was sworn by water and oil, motioning to their necks. In so doing, they thus affirmed that he be the gods' overlord, and certified his rule over every god, both in heaven and in earth. This story is just, it's the same thing over and over again. Marduk is king. Marduk is king. We all declare Marduk is king. That's what they say. That's what they say. So they enshrined a bow. They enshrined a bow as queen. As Marduk's queen. The bow. Interesting. Well, I think we will leave it at that for now, and we will commence this story at a later time. So I do have to go be with my students. Oh, very soon. Very, very soon. I'm already 3 minutes late. But I told them I would be late. And it's okay. Bow like a weapon, yes. Yes, Kayla. Marduk has a net and a bow, and he uses the net and the bow to capture and then kill his great-great-grandmother goddess Tiamat. And so after the victory, the gods do a ritual around this bow. They say, the bow is the best. The bow will be our new queen, because Tiamat is dead. So instead of electing a new goddess queen, instead they select the weapon that killed her and elevate that weapon with the female pronoun to the holiest place. This is a story about patriarchy, right? Story about patriarchy, assuming the violence and turning it into kingship. So no, it's not part of the Bible. It's a story called the Enuma Elish, which is 4,000 years older than the Bible, I suppose. What does my tattoo represent? Well, this is Tiamat, right? This is the dragon that Marduk killed, the dragon that creates the world by consuming herself, and so from her death comes the rebirth of the world. The symbol is also known as the Ouroboros in the Greek tradition. So now we're going to move traditions. We're going to go somewhere else. We're going to go to the Indian subcontinent, where we will say Arati. Arati is a prayer which means light or flame. Arati means light or flame. And so in this prayer we will say the names of many, many gods, all of whom are different from the names of the gods we were reading before. There's stories about all of them, right? Like, this symbol is not strictly speaking Tiamat. In fact, I have some doubts that the woman who originally drew this particular meme, right, this particular glyph with the dots and this Ouroboros came from Egypt, from an alchemist named Cleopatra living in the 2nd century AD. And I mean, maybe she had heard of Tiamat, but perhaps not. But it doesn't matter, because the symbol lives longer than anyone's ability to remember all of its references. And I think that's pretty cool. Jaya Jaya Ratiya Vina Vinayaka Vina Vinayaka Shri Ganesha Jaya Jaya Ratiya Subramanya Subramanya Kartikeya Jaya Jaya Ratiya Venugopala Venugopala Venuola Papa Vidura Navanita Chora Jaya Jaya Rati Venkanta Ramana Venkanta Ramana Sankatarana Sita Rama Radhe Shama Jaya Jaya Rati Gauri Manohara Gauri Manohara Bhavani Sankara Samba Sada Shiva Uma Maheshwara Jaya Jaya Rati Raja Rajeshwari Raja Rajeshwari Tripura Sundari Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Mahashakti Jaya Jaya Rati Anjaneya Anjaneya Hanumanta Jaya Jaya Rati Dattatreya Dattatreya Trimurti Avatara Jaya Jaya Rati Adityaya Adityaya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jaya Rati Sanischaraya Sanischaraya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jaya Rati Sankarachaya Sankarachaya Advaita Guravi Jaya Jaya Rati Sadgurunata Sadgurunata Shivananda Jaya Jaya Rati Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Jaya Jaya Rati Agastya Munaye Agastya Munaye Shirama Priyaye Jaya Jaya Rati Ayappa Samine Ayappa Samine Dharma Shastave Jaya Jaya Rati Jesus Gurave Moses Gurave Buddha Gurave Jaya Jaya Rati Muhammad Gurave Guru Nanak Gurave Samastya Gurubho Namaha Jaya Jaya Rati Venugopala Natatra Suyobhati Natandrakaratam Nima Vidyobhati Kutoya Magni Tvameva Bantam Banti Sarvam Dasya Basya Samidam Vivanti Om Gange Kayamane Kaiva Govari Saraswati Narmade Siddhi Kaveri Namastitam Namo Namaha Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandisha Saka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Javinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarva Buddhyatmanava Prakrite Sabhavad Karomi Adyad Mangalam Parasmahe Narayana Iti Sarmar Payami Sarvadharmam Pravichaya Mamikam Safranambraja Aham Sva Sarva Papayo Mokshayami Masucha Whatever actions I perform with my bodies, speech, mind, senses, my nature, my intellect, or my emotions, all these I dedicate to you. Thank you for being here with me. Joy, joy, the food I dumpster is always tasty and always safe. Om Namah Shivaya, Kushi. Kushi Muni. Thank you. So now we're going to switch languages. We're going to switch to Hebrew. And we're going to say Kaddish. The word Kaddish means holy in Hebrew, and it has a long history, right? One of the references that I like to mention is this goddess here. This is Ketesh, an Egyptian Canaanitic goddess. She's female. And it's from stories about her that we get the word Kedeshah, which shows up in the 5 books of Moses in a few places. Maybe not the 5 books of Moses. Certainly the Old Testament. To refer to prostitutes. It's pretty good. Anyway, with that long and varied history, we will say Kaddish, which means holy. And we will say Kaddish in a mourning form, right? This is a prayer of mourning, a prayer of grief, a prayer to help us let go of the old and embrace the new, to let go of those we have lost, to let go of those parts of ourselves that we need to let go of, and to grieve together for all of the pain and suffering that we collectively experience in our lives. Thank you, Kayla, for those Really lovely gifts. You can join my Discord server, Quarantine. It's a link in the bio. So the Mourner's Kaddish has been recited in this way for at least 2,000 years, maybe 3. And the words sound a little bit like this. Yid Kadal, Vid Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Bialma Divrachute, Viamlich Malchute, Bachayachon, Yomechon, Chaye de Kolbe Israel, Bagalav Isman Kari, Fimr. Amen. Yehe Shemei Rabbah Mevarach Lialam on me on Maya, Yid Barach, Vishtabach, Vid Baar, Irmam, Vid Nase, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shemei de Kudesha, Burichu, Leela Min Kolbir Chata, Vishirata, Tushbechata, Venechemata, Diamiran Bialma, Vimr. Amen. Yehe Shlamar Rabbah Min Shemaya, Vechayim Aleinu, V'Yochol Yisrael, Vimru. Amen. Ose Shalom, Vimru Mav. Huya Ase Shalom, Aleinu, V'Yochol Yisrael, Vimru. Amen. Ose Shalom Bimramav, Ose Shalom Aleinu, V'Alechol Yisrael, V'Imru, V'Imru, Amen. Thank you for joining me today. That's all for now, so I'm running late, so I have to go hang out with my students, but it was really nice to be here with you. Y'all really are. You're amazing. Every last one of you. Okay. Alright. Sad to go a little bit, but I gotta go. So farewell. Have a lovely day.